Good afternoon and welcome. Today is Wednesday, December 20th, and this is the City of Anderson Board of Architecture Review. Addenda?
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay, I would like to welcome a new member, Michael Kaiser.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
And we'd like to, has everybody reviewed the last month's minutes? Any changes? Do I hear a motion? Motion from Mary Lou, second from Jill. All those in favor? Opposed? The minutes stand. New business?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. BAR 2353, Main Street renovations. My apologies, we don't have the maps, but this is on Main Street. I believe it's fairly familiar with to everybody. Does everybody know where we are? Great. The applicant is proposing to paint the exterior of the building and add or replace awnings. As you can see, there are some in this location, if you can see my cursor, there's the structure for the awnings, so he'll be putting back awning material on the building. This is what the building used to look like. Again, this is a more current picture. It's about the same, my apologies. The trees are nice here. But this is what the building looks like. Again, you can see there's some of the existing paint is peeling, which is one of the reasons they want to paint it. There have been some renovations on the ground floor around the doors. And this is a diagram of what the applicant is requesting, the paint pattern the applicant is requesting. There's a Roycroft gray, which would be the body of the building here, with the white running here, the black peppercorn on the bottom, with that diamond pattern again on the bottom. So here you can see and these are not very good, but you have physical samples up there to look at from Sherwin-Williams.
Have you all seen
And there's any metal would be painted black. Again, that peppercorn is not showing up very well, but the building, the darker parts of the building would be the peppercorn.
Which, it's not black, like.
It's not, it's a, what I would call maybe a softer black. It's not as harsh.
A charcoal.
Really dark, chocolatey type gray.
And this is the white. Okay, I'll pass it down.
And that concludes staff's presentation. Are there any questions?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
The white diamonds, that's paint?
Yes, sir. That's what, yeah, yes. Hold on, I'll go back to that. So you can see down here, there's a tile that's been applied at previous renovations. So that would be on top of that tile pattern and those doors.
Okay. Go back to the old front of the building.
That?
Now, yeah, there was 4 awnings across the top.
Yes, sir.
And then 2 large awnings on the bottom?
Yes, sir. Right over the, I'm sorry, there's 3.
There's
If
3.
you look down at the bottom,
3,
they're
yes.
over the doors,
Mm-hmm.
over the non-garage doors. or
And
pull-up
the-
doors.
It looks like to the, as we look at it, to the right of the front door, is that a roll-up door?
To the right and left.
And those are roll-up doors?
Yes, that is staff's understanding. I might add, the applicant is here if there are any questions.
Yes. What will they be painted? Will they be painted black?
Yes.
Black, okay.
So why don't you come to the, so we can get you on the recording.
So the roll-up doors themselves will be painted black, or will they be left that aluminum that they currently are?
They'll be painted black.
Okay.
And for the diamonds are actually positioned in the panels. And I apologize, there might be a bit of a mix-up here. But, Mr. Darnell, could we go back to the?
Sure.
Real quick?
To the diagram?
Yes, please. The tiles that run down or border the center two doors, those tiles that we talked about, yeah, with the sconce that's on there, I believe. I
So
can't
right down
see.
there in the bottom,
Yeah.
on the bottom photo.
We had resubmitted to actually paint those the gray. So that if we go back to the diagram again, you'd see those two columns aside the center doors as the main body gray. I think that that'd be a lot easier, and actually that was a suggestion that Mr. Darnell made to get around the kind of the grouting of the tiles, and since they're not symmetrical and alternating, we thought that the gray would also, decrease contrast. So that means that the remaining diamonds would all be in door panels.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, my apology if I have missed a resubmittal on this, but just to summarize what the applicant is saying, these would all be the columns on each side of the door would be the Roycroft gray, and the only diamond pattern would be in the bottom on those door panels. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And across the bottom of the entrance doors as well.
Shows them on the bottom of the entrance
Yes.
doors.
So basically, all the diamonds across the bottom will be there, but not the ones up and down along the columns.
In the center, correct. If the bottom portion excludes the awnings that would cover what you would see standing in front of the building. So the bottom portion actually shows that there are panels on top and on the bottom of each of the doors. And then there are 2 diamonds per panel on the rolling doors. And then, of course, the 2 columns on either side of the 2 center doors would be the gray.
I have a question. When we asked about the garage doors, they said they'd be painted black. You mean the peppercorn?
Yes. Well, no, I apologize. I'm mistaken. That would be the metal black that's presented. I believe it's the last one, the
Oh,
SR30,
okay.
SRI 30. So it will probably, very probably, take on a different tone, less of a charcoal tone.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions?
I'm still
Yes.
confused. So, okay, the diamonds, there will be, we have 2 different pictures here, and one, the first, on this, right here. Okay.
If I could explain that, it might help. That the top that shows the entire building also includes black awnings that disappear into the black of the building. It's not a very good representation. So you see my cursor? This square is actually one of the proposed awnings, and this is one of the proposed awnings. So down here, what he's done is just showing the storefront without those awnings. So you can see these diamonds on the tops of the doors where they're not visible just from the elevation if you were just drawing a flat elevation because the awning comes down in front of them. I didn't mean to interrupt. Did that answer your question?
Well, partially, so there will be diamonds on the tops of the doors.
Correct.
You just won't see them until you're right up there.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
And there'll be diamonds on the bottoms of the doors.
Yes, ma'am. That is
There-
correct.
Be diamonds on the bottom of the garage doors.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
But on the two columns, there'll be no diamonds.
Yes, that is
They'll just
correct.
be
They will be
painted.
painted, those columns would be painted the solid Roy Croft gray, and that's, my apologies, staff was going back and forth with the applicant.
No, Roy Croft, correct, okay.
And it just didn't make it to the file, so my apologies for that. So essentially, if you go back here, this tile work here will be painted that Roy Croft gray. So it's the lighter gray, and then the door would be the peppercorn.
The door would be the black. Or no, the door would be peppercorn. I'm confused of which door. The garage doors would be black,
Yes, sir.
and the doors would be peppercorn.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Making
That's
sure
correct,
that was.
because the
columns?
metal, any metal is that black, so the
Okay.
metal would be the frame for the awnings as well.
Okay, and the columns, once again, will be the peppercorn too? Okay.
No, the columns are going to be the Roy Croft, right? Or are they going to be the
Roy-
peppercorn?
They're going to be the Roy Croft.
The Roy-
The center columns will be the Roy Croft.
Right here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Is
Yes.
there anything else that's Roy Croft?
Yes, ma'am. The panels in the second story around the windows and above the windows, those panels, the interior will be the Roy Croft.
And then the backdrop will be the peppercorn.
No, the backdrop is the Roy Croft.
No, I mean behind those insets.
Now you've lost me. I don't know.
So if you're looking at it from here, or at the front of the current, there's little squares, and then there's squares behind the windows. And those are what you're saying are going to be the peppercorn.
The peppercorn,
Yeah, is going to be there and then down, but what's going to be the rest of the building, like out in that white space? Is it going to be
Is it
white?
gonna be white?
Yes.
That's what,
Okay.
yeah, white.
This is going to be the white. Here, you look at it right here. This is going to be the white,
It is,
right there. The Roy Croft gray is around the windows, right? And there's going to be the peppercorn trim around that top square is peppercorn with the Roy Croft behind it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the
So a lot
signs-
of this,
The signs will be peppercorn, and then the lettering be black?
say that again,
The
please.
signs, would they be peppercorn gray and the letters black?
Okay, so the new sign ordinance, they'll have to come, this is not a
They're not
sign
included?
application. The new sign ordinance does not allow signs to be painted on the buildings. So all they're doing now is just getting the building colors in. They will have to come back for a sign permit.
Understand.
If that helps.
That helps, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Well, in the actual picture photograph of the actual building, there are recessed panels. I guess I'm not seeing that above the windows. Those are recessed, or is that just painted?
those
Well,
are
I don't-
recessed with, I'm sorry.
Well, look at, I don't think they're recessed, that paint. That's an applied paint
Oh,
up there, the
not
windows.
up top. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the windows. I apologize.
So just to be clear, the panels around the windows are recessed, but the panel above the windows is just a applied paint, an applied paint. I think there might be like a construction joint there, but it's all the same. It's not proud, one's not proud of the other. It's a flat surface.
I mean, normally that would be painted the same color as, you know, not the insert panels, but the outside.
So what you're saying is, where my cursor is now, you're thinking that's all one color?
Well, because architecturally, I mean, it's a flat surface, right?
Right, you're right.
And so I can understand that the flat inserts, the 4 flat inserts where the awnings are, that those would be an accent color. But it doesn't seem to make sense to add
You see what she's
a
saying?
different color that's just painted in. It's like, you know, we're painting in a faux door or something.
To me, though, that kind of connects with the current pattern of the building, so it's tying it into its current, because that basically is what they have across the top right now.
The yellow
Yeah.
is painted on those panels, those painted squares up there, rectangles, and they don't stick out or recess at all. It's Does the area around the windows that is shown in the old picture as being yellow, does that protrude out, or is that recessed in from the area around them, or is it all smooth?
So see that area that's yellow there? He's asking, is that all that same surface?
Uh,
That's against the wind, that panel?
If I understand correctly, inside those semi-columns, if you will, the 3 that border the windows, that is all, inside of that is all flush.
Okay.
That answered the question.
So what we have, Amanda, looks like that all that area inside those columns, including up above, is all flush face to the building. And all that accent has been done just with paint.
And you know, they do that sometimes to paint a sign on it.
Yes.
But that's not being done. I don't know, it seems,
Would it be bad to add like a molding maybe and paint the molding a square above those
well,
windows?
it looks like it's gonna be painted black around it or something. I don't know, that's why I just can't quite.
It seems like a false framing,
Yeah,
which is kind of what there's 3 colors on the current building, but kind of what they've done with or what I guess the previous owners did with keeping a rectangle above. So I think it's like keeping the same, or at least from my perspective, and of course, the building owner is here to be able to speak for himself, but it seems like he's trying to preserve the current pattern in the building.
So, yeah, do you want to explain?
It's like-
I don't remember that ever even being approved, I think.
So, my apologies, but, yeah, we're just mimicking the pattern that was already there. That's the whole rationale for it. So, if we need to make some adjustment there, we can, but we wanted to change as little as possible, just the colors, because none of us like the colors, and of course, it's in pretty bad shape. So replacing that was important, and we just thought if the less we changed, the more likely everything would be approved, just because it's keeping in the vein that it was before. But we're obviously open to open to suggestions there, but all it was a mimicking of the pattern that was already in place.
Thought that that would be prudent, because if we didn't put those gray rectangles on the top, that's a very, very large space, actually. When you're looking up at an angle, we might not appreciate it quite as much. But that area there's probably a better picture. That's a very large space.
Yes.
And since the border is white, we didn't want that much white. And we refrained, we used paint. We decided to propose paint because the first thing that came to our mind is, well, why don't we just frame it out? But in reading through the literature for the city, we decided, well, maybe that's not so prudent because you're trying to do something that's not necessarily there. So this kind of is a compromise that way. But our biggest concern was that was going to be an awfully large border on the top.
I don't remember, maybe I missed the meeting, I don't remember this yellow painting ever being
I don't
approved.
either. We've been on the board for years.
Yeah, for 20 years or something.
Years, yeah.
And I don't remember this ever coming up for approval or being approved.
From the condition, it looks like it's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe before it was a historic district.
So, what's your thoughts on,
Is there a guideline that would violate that you can't have something that's that way set
No.
forth?
not that I know of.
And it makes me feel maybe better that there's a new sign ordinance, and I love signs painted on buildings, but we haven't had a situation where this was done on a building, closer to Greenville Street, and it was divided into different stores, and
Yes.
we've had such a problem with the signs
It has been a problem
looking
with the signs.
all different and everything.
Yeah.
So I guess there's no danger. I mean, this looks to be like 4 signs are gonna go up
Yeah.
there, but there's no danger of that.
It'd be really high up for
Yeah.
signs.
But I see where you were trying to break up maybe so much white. But to be clear, the whole inside panels of where the awnings, the windows are, they will all be one color.
That is from the column to column, from inside of that will all be the one color,
Yeah.
gray.
Yes, and actually, the wall around the window is recessed, right? So those white, if you look there, the vertical white lines come out. So they'll be white, and then the entire inside will be gray, except for the 2 vents that have the little black slits there, except for those 2 marks.
Okay.
Everything within the recessed area will be the same color, and everything on the outside will be the same color, except for the 4 rectangles of the.
So you're not going to go back and try to paint it like just a little yellow around the windows. It'll go from column to column.
Column to column, yes.
Yeah, it'll go from
Column to column.
correct, yes.
I have a printout if you'd like to see it.
think we have-
Kind of,
we have-
Yes,
Yeah.
we were just.
it kind of displays.
No, we have it in our
We
packet.
have-
Well, this one has the gray for the column.
Oh, it does.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
To
this-
give you a better view.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
that-
please.
that would be great.
Please.
Intended to see.
There. Any other questions or concerns about any of the other items? While we look at this,
The light fixtures, will they remain?
Yes, ma'am.
They're gonna stay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a better picture.
light fixtures going to remain,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's not visible necessarily, unless maybe we zoom in, but there are also lamps that go up those 3 center pseudo columns
Mhm.
between the windows.
Do they work?
And there's,
Currently, they don't. We don't know why, but they will be.
There are lamps there now?
Yeah, you can see them, you can see them right
lights.
there.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, this is very helpful.
and the old light fixtures there above the lower awnings, are they gonna remain?
Yes.
They'll remain?
Yeah, we're gonna try to salvage those. If we can't, we'll replace them with the exact same one with those carriage lights. We really like that
You
carriage
can,
light.
you can get replacements for those.
Right,
You can't.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, concerns, comments?
It's- Thank you for indulging us on this inquiry. It's a very unique pattern, which will be a wonderful addition to downtown, but,
Thank you.
thank you.
Well, thank you.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve as submitted.
Approve as submitted from Greg, anybody else? Second, anyone? Second from Jill?
I have a question.
What?
As submitted, it's saying they're gonna do that, panels on the top of the windows.
Yes.
So we're not doing that, right?
Yes, we,
I'm moving as submitted.
as submitted.
Yeah, and
So we're gonna do the panels.
That's
Okay.
it, that's what. So does the second still stand? Okay.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
No problem. With the chair's permission, moving on to BAR 2348.
Mr. Chair, I need to recuse myself.
Just before we vote.
No, he said to do it now.
Hmm?
He said to do it now. Answer questions.
The applicant is requesting approval to change the metal porch columns and the brick portion, replace the brick on the porch. So here's a picture of the existing residence. A zoom in of that porch detail and drawings of what is being proposed. Again, the proposal is to replace the metal post on each side of the porch, as well as the brick on the porch, but it would be going back to match the existing. The brick would match the existing that's in the foundation and there now. And that staff is recommending approval as submitted. And the applicant is here if there are any questions.
Just to clarify, so basically it's gonna be the same except for the pattern in each of the sides will change, and then the brick's gonna just be replaced with the same brick.
That's my understanding, but I think applicant can answer that question.
Actually, right now, the columns are strictly on the front. And
They're flat.
there will be like a 90-degree column. So there'll be a side view, as you can see, a side view and a front view. And currently, there's a railing from the column to the house. We're going to eliminate that because we won't need it. So we're just going to have the column without the railing attached to the house.
So the columns are three-dimensional.
Yeah, the columns are two-sided. They're a front and a side, one side.
Wonderful. And that helps me understand, because I didn't understand the side was actually its own face as well.
Okay.
The distance from the column to the front face of the house is slightly over 15 inches, is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay, the columns are gonna be powder coated white,
Yes.
material's gonna be aluminum. Any
Yes.
questions about the design or color? Okay, do I hear a motion?
Mr.
Motion from
Chair, Mr. Chair, if I could interrupt just a minute?
Yes.
Let her excuse herself, just for ethics.
I was gonna do it right before the vote.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have
Thank
a
you, Mr.
motion
Chair.
to approve as submitted. Second? Second from Amanda. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. Does the board have any business they wish to discuss or bring up? Staff report?
None, sir.
If there's no further business, I'll hear a motion to adjourn. Motion from Mary Lou, a second from Greg. All those in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season.